Okay, so another Linux out of the box. This one is for Bazzite. Now, what Bazzite is a modified version of Fedora. It's really quite complicated to explain. It's what's called an atomic distribution, which means you can't fiddle with the main files. By the way, say we were doing this on the same computer as I always do. You can't mess with the filing system too much, and you put layers of software on top so you can like roll back really easily. It makes it a little bit tricky to do stuff with because anyway, but that's all command line type stuff for Linux nerds. But for the Windows person or the Mac person, it's actually quite good because it makes it very difficult for you to sort of get in amongst it and mess things up. Anyway, so yeah, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the Bazzite deck version. So there's two versions. There's the desktop, which is like totally normal, or there's the deck version, which is, if you've ever got Steam, it's like the big screen mode. But it's exactly the same way it works on a Steam Deck. So you're getting, you're basically going to turn it into a games machine. However, on this distribution, you can just flip it to desktop. So you can either just purely do desktop, or you can do the deck version, which is this, and then flip to desktop when you need it. I mean, this is sort of the belle of the ball at the moment. I mean, in the Linux world for gamers, because it really is. If you were coming over from a Windows or Mac. I mean, Mac, you can't do games, can you, anyway? That whole cyberpunk thing's garbage. I mean, so really, great creative machines. Let's not get our hackles up here. But when it comes to gaming, Mac's not your place. So if you're coming from Windows, and you've got Steam games, this is perfect for you. If you've got a Steam Deck, perfect. And it's standard installer. Choose your drives and everything like this. Now, it does a really weird thing. When you install it in deck mode, it's got like your username. I'll write this down. If it ever asks you for your password, it's Bazzite. Okay, so anyway, just reclaim this disk because I had something else on there. Don't need to do that. You can if you want, but leave it default. It just comes up as Bazzite because it logs straight in because it's like a Steam Deck. So you boot it, a handheld game thing. So this should whiz through quite quickly. And if you followed any of my other videos, you've seen one of these installers before. It's the same as I think it's called Calamaris or something. It's the same on Fedora 42. There you go, it's in. That's not a real time, by the way, and then it reboots. Now, when it first boots up, it thinks it's a games machine. It thinks it's a Steam Deck. So it's going to come up with a Steam Deck interface. But as I'm explaining to you, I'm only showing you this. If you want to do it, oh yeah, and if you've got TMP or whatever, make sure you enroll it. If you've got Secure Boot, enroll it, and then you go back through. Because otherwise, if you've got Secure Boot and you haven't done that bit, the Moki thing, it won't boot. So now we do the normal boot. And now, just like on a Steam Deck, it's going to do I'm sure there's a COGS thing. COGS? Preparing system? No, it says preparing system. Okay. That's new. But basically, it'll sort of boot up like it would on a games machine. As I said, if you install the standard desktop version, you'll be into the desktop. So you're literally, you can also, interestingly enough, you can replace SteamOS on a Steam Deck with this. So you can do this on a handheld. So any of those handhelds you can do it. Because it's very capable and a very flexible operating system and allows you to do a lot. But as I said, there are a few caveats with how much sort of fiddling you can do with it. But again, if you're Windows, Mac people, you don't really want to be doing any of that, do you? You want to do your word processing, do your games, do a bit of content creation, and not, have to get too under the hood with anything. So now it's going to boot back up. This little bit, well, once this has done this once, this beginning cycle, it's pretty snappy. So this is the word atomic there, Fedora atomic. So it's obviously an atomic something. Anyway, come on, it'll come back up. Now we're rebooting. And if you watch any of my other Linux videos, there's this hilarious moment where you click Steam and you don't know if Steam's launched and you're waiting for it to come up and it pops up because there's something going on in the background. This installation, it makes it quite apparent that it's actually installing Steam for you because it's literally the first thing it does because its emphasis is on Steam. Then there you go. So this bit's normally hidden on server. This is right in your face, which is quite cool. So yeah, it's going to download the Steam program or update. Here we go. A little bit of time here, bear with me. And then, as I've done on all the other installations we've done, we'll do word processing, we'll do OBS for screen capture, we'll try and put Resolve on there, and we'll basically run a game and we'll have a quick look around inside. But as you can see, this is quite painless at the moment. I think the bit that might floor you comes next. If you don't have a Steam account, you might not be able to get in. So yeah, so if you're not a big Steam gamer, please do install this one, but just do the desktop version, because you don't have to use. You'll see what happens next. Basically, you'll have to get in via Steam. Here we go, extracting packages. Yeah, so I mean, the dream is Valve releasing SteamOS for better hardware compatibility, because you've got, it's an Arch operating system, so people like me can fiddle, but you can have basic packages and normal stuff, and you've got the power of this. It could fundamentally be like the third operating system. Anyway, so we're into the sort of welcome menu, and I've forgotten that I'm English, so I'm now tabbing down, and then I'm remembered I'm English. And obviously, where am I? I'm in London, so I need GMT, which is somewhere down here. There it is. And then that's my network connection. You can do this over Wi-Fi. I wouldn't recommend it, though, to start off with. I'd get everything done up on a wired connection and then come back to that. Okay, so now you may think it's a bit weird. It's updating. It may take some time to download. Your battery is low. Please keep your device plugged in. Obviously, it sort of thinks it's a Steam Deck at this moment. So just ignore any of that. And basically, it'll sort of, do its thing. But you can see already you've got Steam and Steam menu, and then even you've got Y and B keys. This all relates to a Steam Deck. And how long? We've got 19 minutes. Okay, we may have to speed this up. Yeah, so I've sped this up considerably. Boom. And we're back. And now what we should get, it's going to take a moment. This is when you do try and do a native Steam installation on a machine the first time, there's a lot of black gaps. So I'm totally used to black gaps and sitting here, twiddling my thumbs, thinking what I'm going to do tomorrow, and then all of a sudden Steam, there it is. So we're into Bazzite and now into the Steam login. So do your QR code, and straight away looking at this, there's something, I don't know why it does it on this system, but whenever you install this, it just decides my monitor's HDR, which it isn't. That's why it's light grey. So the moment that we get in, I'll go and change that. So it logs in. Loading my user data. And here we are. So this is if you were on a Steam Deck, but we're not. But we've now literally turned this whole computer into a gaming machine. So if you were like coming from Windows to games, you don't need to go much further than this. Everything's done for you. And at the end, it will hook up an Xbox controller very quickly. So here we go. Go into settings. And I don't know why it does it on this. Always. Scroll right down. Enable HDR. And then my screen will come back to normal. There we go. Proper colours. So yeah, brilliant. General, all the stuff that you normally get if you in Steam. If you use Steam for gaming, there's a few more things in here, but not much. So yeah, and so also in this mode, if you press Control 1 or Control 2, you bring these left and right. Control 2 is that menu. That's got stuff in it. So this is, yeah, just like a Steam Deck. And advanced overlay controls, everything in there, amazing. You know, you can play with that bit to your heart's content if you know anything about gaming. Anyway, so there's my games. So what we need to do is go to Power, go to Switch to Desktop, and as if by magic, we're in gaming mode. So we've gone from gaming mode, we're in a desktop. So this is it. So first thing, I may change the wallpaper. Oh, yeah, I didn't do that and I forgot. So anyway, okay, skip that. But here we go. So you've got, the first thing to do is go in to do system updates and basically run that. I'll just have a look around and see what we've got installed. Sunshine, Popular View, Damon, Lutris. There's a lot of gaming bits on this. It's not a problem, but I mean, you just add the officey bits if you're really into, officey type stuff. So yeah, run this. Again, not the most user-friendly thing, but pretty simple, yes or no. And then it'll do this staging deployment thing, which I'm going to speed up. So I've sped this up enormously. It's me mucking around a bit here, high speed. I dig in the background, right? It goes all the way through. Does any up patches it does. This is where to stop all this, you need to, here it is. The password is Bazzite. Okay, if you ever need it. So this is the reason why you download the latest ISO, because you don't want that thing to sit there and churn through loads of updates. You just want to reboot and then you get back into it. And now what happens is when we reboot, we'll go back into Steam Games mode. So it's basically, you'll be back into that Steam screen. Give it a sec. Coming back, he says, yeah, I mean, the problem with doing these things real time is they do take time. But I find it useful if you watch this, that you know how long things take. Because obviously you get beset by black screens, you think, has that worked? And the worst thing you can do sometimes is hit the power button or reset, and that's like corrupted an update or something that it was in the middle of. Anyway, so it should burst into life in a second here. Here we go. Yeah, here we are, we're back. So we're back in Bazzite Steam thing. We're back into games mode. So we want to switch back to desktop. Power, switch to desktop. And we're back into a normal Linuxy PC thing. So basically that's done the updates. Now there's a thing here called Bazaar, which is brilliant. And this is one of the huge things that's missing from most Linux distributions. But a lot of them have their own version. All you need is a good store to put your software on. Like CatchyOS is amazing, but it's just a pain to put stuff on. It could be as simple as this. Install a Flatpak store or some kind of way to put software on easy, because if you're Mac or Windows, you just expect this stuff. And it just, as you can see, I'm not doing anything difficult here. And the Bazaar store is quite new. It's brilliant. It's just laid out really well. Download the apps you need and off you go. So it's sort of really focused on, people coming from Windows and Macs who were like spoon-fed with how they get their apps. You've got apps and stuff like that. Then, a lot of this is sort of games focused because obviously it's a gaming OS. But there's a ton of stuff in there that you can, for whatever you want to do at home. Installed, shows you what I've already got on there. All that kind of stuff. And then you've got, when you go to FlatHub, it'll actually show you all the things that, recommended, latest games, latest software, and things that you can install. And there's obviously a search on it. So yeah, so it's like a normal Flatpak store, but they're called Flatpaks. But it's great to see that, look, you've got Chrome, Firefox, Brave, browser choices. Heroic Games is one that you can put on to emulate, download Windows games again. Spotify, VLC, what else have we got? Loads of these games emulators. PlayStation Portable Emulator. Very focused on games, but it is interesting. It sort of drives it forward. So here we go. We've got Office on there. And my OBS is installed. So let's just do, what are we going to do? And then I think the thing to do is fire up Steam. And then I'll download Dredge, which is my standard gaming test in the background. Here we go, Home, Dredge. Let's get that installed and we'll play with the other ones. Install. It is interesting on this. I feel a lot more comfortable not rebooting after everything gets installed, where some of the other ones I've played with, like, I don't know, like Catchy, maybe, I can't remember which one it was. There was one that you feel you need to reboot after you've done everything. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you can install DaVinci Resolve on Bazzite. It's on another video, which I sort of refer to in a minute. Very, very simply. I've written loads of scripts, but Bazzite and Nobara have built-in ways to sort of install DaVinci Resolve very, very easily. So, obviously for a creator, that's brilliant, but I will stress this. It's like Bazzite and Steam and everything like that works better on AMD graphics cards. DaVinci Resolve works better on NVIDIA cards. There is a version of Bazzite that works with NVIDIA. I wouldn't recommend downloading the Steam Deck version. Just use the desktop version. This works. Hello, cruel, spelled wrong. Hello, cruel world. Yeah, so I download the NVIDIA version of desktop because the home PC theatre thing doesn't work very well on NVIDIA. I've done a video on that, and it sort of just doesn't work. I built a Steam box out of a Dell, and a Dell with a 5060 Ti. Anyway, let's test OBS. So that's what we've got in here. Because obviously, gamers like to stream or record their games. So that's part of this. So what we need, now remember this is a 9060 XT. So I've got inbuilt AV1 encoders, I've got inbuilt H.265 encoders, 264. Now a lot of the distributions don't pick up on this. So, and I already know this, so I'm going to spoil the game here, that when I go into output, and if I go into, it's not there on the basic part, if you go to output mode advanced, and then go to recording, you see the encoder, I've got everything. AV1, and both my cards, because there's a hybrid GPU in here on the chip, you can encode on everything. So that's a really good leg up for Bazzite to install that from the get-go. You've got all that encoding. And I've done a video on 4K video capture with Bazzite, and it works really well. So it's a great platform for streaming, and it's a great platform for games capture. So that works. What have we got left? Let's do, that's still going. Downloads, it's downloading that. Now, so that's got a bit of time left. So probably the thing to do now is, we're going to go and I'm going to have to find one of the videos I've already made about installing DaVinci Resolve on Bazzite, because I can't remember the command. It's a one-liner. So let's see if our video ranks up in you just resolve. Okay, whatever. Accept. Yeah, and my video is number 1. Nice. Thank you, Google. So this is handy for me. Yeah, that's my video. So basically, I put it in the description. So I just need to grab the command. Oh my God, what's going on? I need to grab the command out of the description. Yeah, it's advertising. Yeah, so I'm paying myself here, right? I'm earning money from myself. More, and scroll down, and I put it in there. So to grab that, it's called UJust, and it's a sort of scripting system. I mean, this is a bit beyond standard Windows and Mac users, but bear with me. It's the easiest way. If you want to get Resolve on here, apart from my script, which you can download, called the Universal Resolve one, this is just so simple to do, and they've done it. So I haven't really done. Well, I think you can use my script on here. But yeah, so what you need is DaVinci Resolve in the downloads folder, the zip file, and then you literally just run this. And very much like the script I've written for Linux installations of DaVinci Resolve, it just does its thing. So what have I done now? I've exited Steam. Yeah, go into Steam. And then it's going to do this downloading. Okay. Yeah, so you're looking at this thinking, what on earth is going on? I am as well. I think it's building some kind of virtual box or something. There's, Bazzite DaVinci box set up, some kind of virtual machine. I don't know. I don't know about performance. I don't know how well this performs. But this is one of the things I said about Bazzite. It's odd. You have to build stuff on top of the operating system, so it's like separated. So I can't use, all my weird commands. But if you're a Windows person watching this or a Mac person, just ignore all this. All you need to do is basically type UJust, that command, put it in, and it'll install Resolve on this machine. And then you close those console windows and never go there again. So yeah, so what I'm just showing you the simple way of doing it, because then you can get up a content machine running quite easily. So what's it doing? Opens box CL latest. Now, it's highly unlikely, because I have an AMD GPU, that DaVinci Resolve will work. It's a weird one, this. If they could just get Resolve working properly on Linux, on DaVinci Resolve, it would be like Nirvana. because when Steam eventually releases, hopefully releases a proper version that we can use, it'll be focused on AMD. So, we're going to have this problem. So now it's installing Resolve. We'll have this problem, aren't we? We won't be able to use hardware acceleration because I doubt that Valve, it'd be smart if they did support NVIDIA, because when you install the NVIDIA drivers, you get all the hardware encoding and everything you need on these machines. But again, so yeah, it's something for the future. It's so annoying. It's a great card, this 960, and it does this weird thing. So if I reboot, which I'm not going to, that will become a proper DaVinci Resolve icon. But I don't know why it does it. It just gives me that weird bit of paper, but it will work. So let's double click it. And it won't have installed the drivers properly. It'll tempt me with the fact that it's installed the DaVinci Resolve drivers properly, but it won't have done. So if you got there and you go and look in preferences, media and GPU, there we are. It's detected both the GPUs. It's actually selected the 610M, which is the one built into the chip, not the 960. So this is really weird. On Catchy OS, it worked, but I'm just going to do a typical test here. I'm going to put that, no video, so the drivers aren't installed properly. And you can't install the Radeon drivers on this because of what it is. It's nuts. It's sort of like, if someone could nail this, a possible side project for me, to get, an installation, I need an installation, that's what I need to do. I need to write an installation script for AMD drivers on Linux distributions. I think that could be my next mission. So I'm going to save this, and the test is, I'll save it, I'll try and open that project, and if it crashes, the drivers aren't installed properly. Here we go. So open it. I'll click test, and now it's not going to load. So yes, so the OpenCL, the graphics drivers for this aren't installed properly. So I'm just going to terminate this, close it. Terminate DaVinci Resolve. Yeah. Goes in, doesn't work though. It's a shame. So, just a quick flashback. This is the UJust scripty thing. So you just go UJust, copy, and it shows you all these extra scripts and commands. If you type UJust something, there's a list of them. Most of them will mean nothing to most normal people, but there is some really interesting stuff in there for gamers and for nerdy people. But if you're Windows Mac, this is way beyond your scope. You're just not interested in this. This is not what you do. You want pointy click stuff. So now we're going to flip back to big game mode. And what I'm going to do is going to run that game Dredge I downloaded, but I'm going to hook up a Xbox controller and just play with the Xbox. It's really simple. Could you imagine if I could now move this box over to the TV, plug it into the HDMI, and now I've got a machine that's equally as powerful as a PS5 to play my games. So it's pretty cool. And I'd never need to go back to desktop mode. I mean, yeah, you can do everything from the controller. So let's just go into Steam menu, go to settings, go to controller. Actually, I need to check Bluetooth on. Yeah, switch Bluetooth on. I've got two Xbox controllers here. Show devices. Let me just get I'm pressing them. I'm in the background here. I'm pressing the buttons to get them to sync up. Here we go. Come on, turn out. Now, some people have been asking about power on with the controllers. I never got that far with this, which is when you press the controllers, it wakes the computer up. I haven't really played with it. I've not had a lot of time, but some people have had some luck with that. Because that's your dream, isn't it? We can plug this into the TV, turn it on and off from the Xbox controller. So I don't know why it's not seeing it. Not seeing it. Now, there is another thing. You can update I'm sure you can update the firmware controllers, the firmware in the controllers in this OS. Here we go, first one. So this could be 50-50 chance it's selected the right controller. And have we got it? Is it working? Yes. So see now on the bottom, I've got a little Xbox menu and the coloured buttons have changed. So now I'm on an Xbox controller. Tab through, give me some stuff. Tells you the translation to the controller. Play anyway. Play the game. and really simple game, great indie game, great fun. Sadly, I'm going to have to find another game because everybody's watched my Linux videos have watched exactly the same bit. Otherwise, I'm going to play a bit more of the game and save again. I had a great save game, but that's been deleted from the cloud, sadly. And now I've got to go back to the beginning of the game. So yeah, so beautiful. I think it's 4 people made this. It's really nice. It's like a big map, go around, fish, salvage things, do some missions and side quests. The graphics are brilliant. It's beautiful when you see the whales that just come out of nowhere. They're fantastic. Anyway, so quit out of that. Confirm. Quit. Yeah, and so that's Bazzite. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty cool. It's like pretty simple. They've really nailed that. All they need to do is just a few more things. I think they've got the store sorted. It's stable. And it's a real contender. So, really good. I can't recommend, I'm going to do a recommendation here. Bazzite. Brilliant. And you can do, the community that support this are amazing people. Because obviously there's no one's paying for this. People are doing this and supporting it, and it's great. So anyway, on that very positive note, thanks for watching.